I always thought I had a pretty clear understanding of who I was and what I wanted. As a straight guy, I had only ever been attracted to women and had never questioned my sexuality. That is, until the day my new neighbor, Elias, moved in next door. From the moment I saw him, I couldn't help but be drawn to him. Elias had an easygoing smile and an infectious laugh that seemed to fill the air whenever we spoke. We quickly struck up conversations over the fence about everything from hobbies to our favorite books. I found myself looking forward to those interactions more than I'd like to admit. As weeks turned into months, my feelings grew stronger. I tried to ignore the flutter in my chest whenever I saw Elias, convincing myself that it was just a deep friendship forming. But deep down, I knew it was more than that. I was falling in love with him, and it terrified me. I spent countless nights questioning my feelings, trying to come to terms with this unexpected twist in my life. I confided in a close friend, Sarah, hoping that opening up would help me make sense of it all. "Sarah, I need to tell you something," I said one evening, my voice shaky. "I think I'm developing feelings for Elias, my neighbor." Sarah looked at me with a mix of concern and curiosity. "Wait, are you saying you might be gay?" I hesitated, searching for the right words. "I don't know. It's just that I've never felt this way about a guy before. It's confusing." She nodded understandingly. "Well, you can't control who you fall for. Maybe you're discovering a new part of yourself." Her words echoed in my mind as I continued to spend time with Elias. Every shared laugh, every meaningful conversation only deepened my feelings. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, I decided it was time to confront my emotion. "Elias," I began, my heart racing, "there's something I need to talk to you about." He turned to me, his eyes curious. "Sure, what's up?" I took a deep breath, the words spilling out in a rush. "I've been struggling with this for a while now, and I've realized that my feelings for you are more than just friendship. I think I'm falling in love with you." There was a moment of silence as Elias processed my confession. I braced myself for a range of reactions, but nothing could have prepared me for what he said next. "I never expected to hear that, but I appreciate your honesty," he said, a small smile playing on his lips. "I felt a strong connection with you too, and I think it's worth exploring." After that heartfelt confession, Elias and I seemed to share a newfound connection, a shared understanding that had deepened our bond. We spent more time together, exploring the city, sharing stories, and building memories. It felt like we were on the verge of something beautiful, something that defied labels and expectations. However, as the days turned into weeks, I couldn't shake the feeling that something had shifted between us. Elias seemed distant, his smiles less frequent, and our conversations lacked the ease they once had. I couldn't help but wonder if my confession had changed everything. One afternoon, I finally mustered the courage to confront the elephant in the room. We were sitting on my porch, gazing out at the quiet neighborhood when I decided to address the growing distance. "Elias," I began cautiously, "I've noticed that things have been a bit different between us lately. Is everything okay?" He hesitated for a moment, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "Yeah, things have just been..." My heart sank at his words, but I pressed on. "Complicated how?" Elias took a deep breath and turned to face me, his expression a mix of uncertainty and vulnerability. "To be honest, your confession caught me off guard. I didn't expect it, and I've been struggling to process my own feelings about it." I nodded, understanding dawning upon me. "So, you've been avoiding me because of what I said?" Elias sighed, running a hand through his hair. "Not exactly avoiding, but I've been trying to sort things out in my mind. It's not that I don't value our connection, but this is also new and unexpected." I appreciated his honesty, but it was hard not to feel a pang of hurt. "I understand that, Elias. I never meant for my feelings to complicate things between us." He reached out and placed a hand on mine, offering a reassuring smile. "I know you didn't, and I appreciate your openness. But I need a little time to figure things out, to understand what this means for us." Over the next few weeks, Elias and I navigated this new phase in our relationship. While there were moments of awkwardness and uncertainty, there were also instances of shared laughter and genuine connection. It became clear that both of us were grappling with our emotions, trying to find a way to move forward while respecting each other's boundaries. During this time, I leaned on my friend Sarah for support. She reminded me that relationships, especially ones that challenge societal norms, take time and patience. She encouraged me to give Elias the space he needed and to focus on nurturing our friendship. One evening, I received a call from Sarah, my confidant and source of support. Her voice was somber as she asked if I had a moment to talk. Sensing the urgency, I stepped away from the comforting view of the sunset on my porch and listened closely. "Hey, I thought you should know that I saw Elias today," she began, her tone cautious.
"Oh, How's he doing? I inquired, genuinely concerned.
There was a brief pause before Sarah continued, her words carefully chosen. He was with another guy and they seemed close. My heart sank at the revelation. A mix of emotions flooded over me, surprise, confusion, and a hint of jealousy I wasn't prepared to confront. I had known that Elias needed time to sort out his feelings, but seeing him with someone else stirred up a whirlwind of emotions that I hadn't anticipated. "Are you sure?" I finally managed to ask, my voice shaky. "Yeah, I saw them at a cafe, laughing and talking. They look comfortable in each other's company," Sarah explained gently. I thanked her for sharing the information and hung up, my mind racing. I sat on the porch, staring out into the night, and wrestled with the conflicting feelings inside me. Part of me wanted to respect Elias's journey and the space he needed, but another part felt a twinge of hurt that he had moved on so quickly. The following days were a roller coaster of emotions. I grappled with my own insecurities, questioning the strength of our connection and wondering if I had misread the signals between us. I realized that I needed to confront Elias about what I had learned, even if it meant risking the progress we had made. Several days later, I found myself standing in front of Elias's door, my heart pounding as I raised my hand to knock. The door swung open, revealing Elias with a surprised yet welcoming expression. "Hey," he greeted. "What brings you here?" I took a deep breath, steadying my nerves. "I heard from Sarah that you've been spending time with someone else." Elias's expression softened as he realized the reason for my visit. "I should have told you. I've been getting to know someone, but it's not what you might think." I waited for him to continue, my curiosity piqued. "The truth is," he began, "this person is helping me understand my feelings better. He's been through a similar journey, and he's been a source of support as I navigate this new territory." I nod slowly, absorbing his words. "I see. So you're still trying to figure things out." Elias met my gaze earnestly. "Yes, but that doesn't change how I feel about you. Our connection is important to me, and I don't want to lose it." His sincerity was evident, and I felt a mix of relief and gratitude. "I appreciate your honesty, Elias. I want us to be able to communicate openly, even if it's not always easy." One evening, as I returned home from a walk, I noticed Elias standing on his porch, engrossed in conversation on his phone. I had intended to give him some space, but something caught my attention. His tone, his expressions, and the way he kept glancing around as if he was trying to ensure his privacy. Curiosity getting the better of me, I discreetly approached, unintentionally overhearing snippets of his conversation. Miss you, babe." My heart skipped a beat as I recognized the term of endearment. The realization hit me like a tidal wave. Elias was speaking to the same guy Sarah had mentioned, the one who'd been helping him navigate his feelings.
My mind raced as I grappled with the implications. It wasn't just a casual connection. He was using intimate terms of affection. A mix of hurt, confusion, and frustration welled up within me.
Had Elias been dishonest about his intentions? Was our connection merely a facade? I debated whether to confront him then and there, but I decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps there was an explanation that I hadn't considered. Over the next few days, I struggled to balance my emotions and give Elias the space he needed to explain himself. Our interactions were strained, my mind preoccupied with the phone call I had overheard. Eventually, I decided that I couldn't let this uncertainty fester any longer. One evening, I mustered the courage to broach the topic. We were sitting on my porch, the city's lights twinkling in the distance, when I finally spoke up. "Elias, there's something I need to talk to you about," I began, my voice steady but tinged with vulnerability. He turned to me, concern in his eyes.
"Oh, what's on your mind?"
I took a deep breath, my heart pounding as I chose my words carefully. "I overheard a conversation you had on the phone, and I heard you use the term cochanies, darling." Elias's expression shifted, his gaze locking onto mine. I could see a mix of surprise and realization in his eyes. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop," I stammered, feeling a flush of embarrassment. But I couldn't help it here, and it left me feeling confused. Elias let out a sigh, his shoulders slumping slightly. "I should have been honest with you from the beginning. The person I've been getting to know is more than just a friend. We've been exploring a romantic connection. And yes, I've used terms of endearment like cochani." I struggled to process his admission, a whirlwind of emotions surging through me. "So, what does this mean for us? Have I been fooling myself into thinking there was something more between us?" Elias reached out and took my hand, his touch a mix of reassurance and apology. "No, you haven't been fooling yourself. Our connection is real, and I care about you deeply, but I've been trying to understand myself and my feelings, and I didn't handle it the right way." I appreciated his honesty, yet the hurt still lingered. "I wish you had been upfront with me, Elias. I thought we were building something meaningful." He nodded, his expression regretful. I understand if you're angry or disappointed. I should have communicated better. As I looked into Elias's eyes, I saw a genuine desire to make things right. Despite the pain, I realized that love wasn't always smooth sailing. It was about navigating through challenges, facing the truth, and finding a way to move forward. I need time to process this, I admitted, my voice soft but resolute. I care about you, Elias, but I also need to prioritize my own feelings. It was a warm summer evening when I attended my cousin's birthday celebration, surrounded by family and friends. The atmosphere was festive, laughter filling the air as people mingled and shared stories. I was engaged in a lively conversation with Sarah when my gaze landed on a face that triggered a rush of recognition. A sense of disbelief washed over me as I realized that the guy standing a few feet away was the same person Elias had been spending time with. I barely managed to contain my surprise, my mind racing to process this unexpected twist. Sarah's voice broke through my thoughts, her tone amused. I see you've noticed him. I turned to her, my eyebrows raised in silent inquiry. He's Jake, a friend of your cousin, she explained with a knowing smile. He's the guy Elias has been seeing. My heart clenched as I absorbed the information. It was a lot to take in, but I was determined to handle the situation with grace and maturity. Curiosity getting the better of me, I decided to approach Jake and strike up a conversation. As I introduced myself and engaged in small talk, I discovered that he was not only affable, but also genuinely kind-hearted. We talked about various topics, from shared interests to life experiences, and I couldn't help but feel a sense of camaraderie. As our conversation flowed, I was struck by the depth of Jake's relationship with Elias. He spoke with genuine affection, his eyes lighting up as he shared stories of their adventures and the bond they had cultivated over the past 2 years. He described their connection as something beautiful and meaningful, and I couldn't help but respect the love they had for each other. While a part of me felt a pang of envy, I reminded myself that my journey with Elias had taken a different turn. I kept my own identity a secret, choosing to embrace the opportunity to forge a genuine friendship with Jake. Over the next few weeks, Jake and I continued to spend time together getting to know each other better. Our conversations were marked by a growing understanding and mutual respect, and I found solace in our newfound connection. As our friendship blossomed, I couldn't help but reflect on the twists and turns life had presented me. What had started as an unexpected attraction to Elias had evolved into a journey of self-discovery, empathy, and the forging of new connections. While the path was uncertain, I was grateful for the lessons I'd learned and the unexpected friendships that had come my way. As my life continued to unfold with its twists and turns, I found myself facing yet another surprising chapter in the story that had captivated my heart and mind. The uncharted territory of unexpected love had led me through a journey of emotions, revelations, and newfound friendship. Little did I know that a reunion was on the horizon, one that would challenge the boundaries of understanding and test the strength of the connections I'd formed. One evening, just as the sun was beginning to dip below the horizon, a knock echoed through my apartment. My heart raced as I made my way to the door, wondering who could be visiting at such an hour. With a mixture of anticipation and curiosity, I swung the door open to reveal a familiar face that caught me off guard. It was Elias. For a moment, time seemed to stand still as our gazes locked. The air was charged with unspoken words and unresolved emotions. Before I could find my voice, Elias spoke, his tone a mixture of apprehension and determination. "Hey," he began, his voice wavering slightly. "Can we talk?" I nodded, stepping aside to allow him entry. As he stepped into my apartment, I couldn't help but notice a figure lingering in the hallway. Jake. My heart skipped a beat as I realized the significance of the moment. Elias and Jake had come together, and my mind raced to comprehend the situation. It was clear that this encounter was orchestrated, and I braced myself for the conversation that was about to unfold. Elias turned to Jake, his expression a mixture of earnestness and vulnerability. "Jake, can you give us a moment?" Jake offered a reassuring smile, his gaze briefly meeting mine before he nodded and headed down the hallway. As Elias and I stood face to face, the weight of our shared history hung in the air. "I want to apologize for the way things have unfolded between us," Elias began, his voice soft yet resolute. "I should have been more open and honest from the beginning." I appreciated his sincerity, but I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions bubbling to the surface. "It's been a journey for both of us," I replied, my tone a blend of understanding and vulnerability. "I've learned a lot about myself along the way." Elias nodded, his gaze never leaving mine. "Jake told me about your friendship, how you've been getting to know each other. He also told me about the connection you've forged." I felt a rush of emotions, surprise, curiosity, and a tinge of uncertainty. "He shared that with you?" Elias nodded again, his eyes searching for understanding. "Yes, and it made me realize that I've been selfish in my approach. I didn't fully appreciate the depth of the feelings that were developing between us. I considered his words carefully, the weight of our shared experiences shaping my response. It's been a journey of discovery for me as well. I've learned to embrace unexpected connections and friendships, even if they don't follow a conventional path. Elias took a step closer, his expression a mix of hope and trepidation. I want you to know that I value our connection, and I'm committed to being more open moving forward. I want to explore where this journey could lead, even if it means facing challenges along the way. As I looked into Elias's eyes, I saw a genuine desire for growth and understanding. The road ahead was uncertain, but the promise of authenticity and open communication gave me a glimmer of hope. I appreciate your honesty, I replied, my voice steady. Let's take this one step at a time and see where our journey leads. In the days that followed the reunion with Elias, I couldn't shake the thoughts and emotions that had been stirred within me. The honesty and vulnerability we had shared had opened a new chapter in our relationship, but it had also ignited a series of revelations that I was struggling to comprehend. The connection I'd forged with Jake had deepened beyond friendship, and my heart couldn't deny the love that had blossomed within me. As I look back on the journey that had brought me to this point, I realized that my feelings for both Jake and Elias were unique and undeniable. One evening, I found myself alone in my apartment, the weight of my emotions pressing heavily upon me. I sat down and began to reflect on the path that had led me here. With a mix of trepidation and determination, I decided to confide in Sarah, the steadfast friend who had been with me every step of the way. As I poured my heart out to her, explaining the complexity of my feelings for both Jake and Elias, I was met with a listening ear and a reassuring presence. Sarah's wisdom and empathy guided me through the maze of emotions, helping me unravel the tangled threads of my heart. Love is a vast and multifaceted emotion, she said gently. It doesn't always fit within neat categories or conventional expectations. What matters most is your ability to communicate and navigate these feelings with honesty and respect. Her words resonated deeply, and I realized that my journey had led me to a profound realization. I was capable of loving both Jake and Elias, each in their own unique way. The idea of embracing a non-traditional love story both excited and frightened me, but I was determined to follow my heart. The next step was to share my feelings with Jake and Elias. I knew that this conversation would be one of the most challenging and vulnerable moments of my life, but it was essential for the authenticity of our connections. One evening, I invited both Jake and Elias to my apartment. As we sat together facing each other with a mixture of anticipation and uncertainty, I took a deep breath and began to speak from my heart. I want to be completely honest with both of you, I started, my voice steady but tinged with emotion. The journey we've shared has taught me that love is a complex and beautiful emotion. My feelings for both of you run deep, and I want to explore the possibility of having a unique relationship that embraces all of our connections. There was a moment of silence as Jake and Elias processed my words. Their expressions were a mix of surprise, curiosity, and contemplation. Finally, Jake spoke, his voice filled with a mix of understanding and consideration.
I've always believed that love knows no boundaries. If this is something that feels right for all of us, I'm willing to explore it.
Elias nodded in agreement, his gaze never leaving mine. I've learned that the heart is a vast and mysterious territory. If we can navigate this together with open hearts and honest communication, then I'm willing to take this journey as well. As my journey of unexpected love continued to unfold, I found myself standing on the threshold of a new and uncharted chapter. The story that had woven together the threads of friendship, self-discovery, and profound connections was now taking a remarkable turn, reshaping the boundaries of my heart and challenging me to embrace a love that defied traditional norms. In the days that followed our candid conversation, the dynamics between Jake, Elias, and myself began to shift. There was an air of anticipation and exploration that permeated our interactions, a shared understanding that we were venturing into uncharted waters together. With open hearts and a willingness to communicate, we began to navigate this unique relationship. Each step was a testament to our commitment to authenticity and vulnerability, and we found ourselves building a connection that was unlike anything we had experienced before. From shared moments of laughter to intimate conversations that spanned the depths of our emotions, our bond continued to strengthen. The love that had blossomed within me was now a source of joy and inspiration, a reminder that the heart's capacity to love was boundless. I marveled at the beauty of our connection, the way we complemented each other's strengths and supported one another's growth. Our shared experiences and individual journeys had converged to create a tapestry of love that was as intricate as it was profound. One evening, as we gathered together in my apartment, the weight of our journey and the love that bound us became palpable. The air was charged with a sense of unity and understanding as we shared stories, dreams, and aspirations. In the midst of our conversation, Jake turned to me, his gaze filled with affection. "From the moment we met, I felt a deep connection with both of you," he began, his voice gentle yet resolute. "This journey has shown me that love can take many forms, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to explore that with you both." Elias nodded in agreement, his eyes reflecting a sense of shared purpose. "Our bond is a testament to the beauty of embracing the unexpected. I've learned that love is a journey that transcends labels and societal norms, and I'm excited to see where it leads us." As their words washed over me, I felt a sense of profound gratitude and a renewed commitment to the path we had chosen. The love that flowed between us was a testament to the power of human connection and the boundless potential of the heart. From that moment forward, our relationship continued to evolve and flourish. The dynamics between Jake, Elias, and myself were a testament to the depth of our feelings and the authenticity of our connections. We faced challenges with open hearts and a shared commitment to communication, and our bond grew stronger with each passing day.